Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. My name is Ella and this channel is all about spirituality, manifestation, mindset, and aligned business. In today's video, I'm going to be jumping into the world of quantum physics with you and sharing with you the core principles behind quantum physics that help scientifically support the law of attraction and manifestation. So if you want to learn more about quantum physics and learn how to collapse your timelines and manifest what you want fast, then keep on watching. So first of all, what is quantum physics? Quantum physics is the study of the subatomic building blocks of the universe, what everything is made out of. It is the understanding of how physical matter comes to be and how we are in direct control and manipulation of physical matter. So everything, let's take you and I for example, when we break it down to the cellular level, the molecular level, the atomic level, we will get to the subatomic level. There is a subatomic level for everything in this universe. Now in the subatomic level, we have subatomic particles that are vibrating at a certain frequency. Now everything in the world is made up of energy. As you guys know, I talk about this a lot in my videos, and this is really a concept that you have to understand and stand behind in order to understand quantum physics. So everything is made up of energy. Now what exactly is energy made out of? Energy is actually made up of packets of subatomic particles, and these are called quanta. So these packets of subatomic particles are vibrating at a certain frequency and basically rapidly flashing in and out to create the illusion of a physical reality. So nothing is actually really physical. It's all just energy. It's all just these packets of subatomic particles vibrating very quick at a certain frequency. These subatomic particles have some pretty interesting characteristics that speak to how they're influenced and how they create matter in our physical reality. The first characteristic is that subatomic particles are not like physical particles. It's not like a particle of dust or a particle of sand. Subatomic particles actually exist as a probability of existence across time and space. They only become absolute in time and space when they are observed. And I'll talk about this in detail in just a little bit. The second characteristic is that subatomic particles can exist as waves and also as particles. And this is what is called the wave-particle duality. The third characteristic is that subatomic particles can make decisions, and they can make decisions while knowing the decisions of other subatomic particles. They have this instantaneous knowing between particles, and they will base their decisions off of what they know other subatomic particles to be doing. Now, this is a lot of information, and I know that it may not make sense at the moment, but we will dive into all of this in detail. An infamous experiment in the quantum physics world that illustrates the behavior of these subatomic particles is known as the double slit experiment. This was first performed in 1801 by physicist Thomas Young. Now, before we get into the details of the double slit experiment, let's first consider what happens with a single slit. So the setup of this experiment is to have a shooter of subatomic particles, a barrier with a single narrow slit, and a screen at the end. So what happens if we were to shoot subatomic particles through this barrier with a single slit? We would expect to see a single band of subatomic particles to end on the screen at the end, right? That makes a lot of logical sense. Now, let's add in an additional slit. What would happen now? So if there was a double slit now in the barrier, it would make logical sense that if we were to shoot these subatomic particles, that at the screen at the end, we will see two bands of subatomic particles. Now, this is what scientists first expected, but what they observed was actually very different. What they found instead was that when they shoot subatomic particles through two slits, at the end, what was created was not two bands, but in fact, an interference pattern. Now, this is very interesting, and what was concluded is that subatomic particles, when they're first shot, will travel as a particle, and when it reaches the barrier with the double slit, it starts to behave like a wave with infinite multiple possibilities of where it could be and where it could land. And when it gets close enough to the screen, it has to make a decision in time of where to land. The screen is also known as the place of observation. So in that instant, the particle will decide how and where to land and position itself on the screen in an absolute place in time and space. And they also know the decisions of other subatomic particles and working together to create this interference pattern. Now, this is completely fascinating because these subatomic particles behave completely against what the scientists expected. Now, mind blown by these results, the scientists decided to try something new. They wanted to observe how these subatomic particles were actually traveling through the double slits. So they decided to place a measuring device right next to the double slits. And what was very interesting here is that when these subatomic particles were being observed as they traveled, they actually acted accordingly to expectation. 50% of the subatomic particles went through one slit, another 50% went through the other slit, and what was created at the screen at the end were two bands of subatomic particles. Now, what this proves is the power of pure observation being introduced, and how observation changes the way that these subatomic particles behave, and ultimately the reality that is created. Now, this double slit experiment and its many variations show very fascinating results, and it speaks to the highly intelligent ways that these subatomic particles behave and how they can create multiple infinite possibilities until they are actually observed, in which they become absolute in time and space and create matter. So how exactly can this now be applied to law of attraction and manifestation? Let's jump into that right now. Number one, you are the observer, and what you observe will become physical in your reality. Your certainty, your deep belief, your attention to something is what will allow it to manifest into existence. You are the observer in your reality, and what you observe has no choice but to become physical, as per what we see with quantum physics. Now, whether you are doing this consciously or unconsciously, you are the cause of everything that you create. So quantum physics really support this explanation and this way of thinking that we already know in spiritual terms, that we are the co-creator and we are the observer of our reality, by which we create through that observation. The second is that multiple possibilities exist at the same time, and it is through your thoughts, your expectations, and your decisions that you choose which possibility, which reality you experience. Now, just like the wave that the subatomic particle becomes when it goes through the double slits, there is an infinite number of possibilities for us and our realities. So let's go back to the experimental level, and let's think about the subatomic particle that is traveling as a wave. So let's say that it can end up in position 1, 2, 3, or 4. If we observe that particle to land in position 3, the probability of it existing in all other positions become 0. Now, let's just substitute that for multiple realities. There are multiple realities, multiple possibilities of realities happening at the same time. However, the reality that we observe for ourselves, the reality that we want to manifest, if we observe that, then that is what we will create, and the probability of any other reality happening becomes 0. What's very powerful is to realize that right now in this moment, all possible versions of you, all possible realities that you can think of already exist. So that means that what you desire already exists. You already have it. But you may be thinking, yeah, but if I have it, then why can't I see it? And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an example to illustrate this. So let's say, for example, that you have the skill of painting, but you've never picked up a paintbrush in your life. So you've never seen yourself paint. You've never experienced yourself painting. But does that mean that you do not have the skill of painting? No, because when you choose to experience painting, when you choose to see painting or see yourself painting, then that becomes your reality, right? And so that's what I want you guys to realize, is that if you just know for now that you have everything that you desire, and all you have to do is choose to experience it, choose to see it, choose to observe it right now in this present moment, what's going to happen is that you will quickly collapse timelines and manifest your desired reality, because you already have that parallel universe reality where you have everything that you desire already exists. You just need to choose to observe that right now. You need to choose to believe that you already have it and act from that place, make the decisions from that place, choose to think from that place, and that is how you can quickly manifest your desired reality right now. Number 3, opportunities, people, and things that help you get to your desired manifestation are naturally drawn to you because subatomic particles are deeply connected across time and space in the universe. Now, you may have had that experience where you set the intention to manifest something, then all of a sudden you meet someone who can help you, or an opportunity comes your way that steers you in the right direction. Now, these are not all just coincidences, and it's certainly not just magic, but this can actually be explained at the quantum physics level. Physicist J.S. Bell Bell has actually created a mathematical equation to illustrate how subatomic particles are deeply connected in all parts of the universe across time and space. There is this instantaneous knowing between subatomic particles, like I mentioned earlier, and basically the behavior of one subatomic particle is influenced by the behavior of another subatomic particle. So this makes sense then that when you set your intention, you are influencing other subatomic particles to be attracted in and to be arranged in a way that follows your intention. This also goes to explain universal laws like cause and effect. And this is so powerful because it shows you how everything is so deeply connected, and by you setting the intention, focusing your thoughts and just your attention overall to what you want to manifest, you will be influencing the subatomic particles to arrange themselves to create that reality for you. So I know there's been a lot of mind-blowing information in this video, but hopefully it gave you a good introduction to quantum physics and how it supports the law of attraction and manifestation. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Stay light and shine bright, my friends.